there, this is Shannon Beelman from Shannon Beelman Photography, and you're listening to the Happy Earth Market podcast.
I believe that means that we're on. Hi, everybody. I'm Sam.
I'm Nate.
And today we have
Shannon Beelman.
Yay! Shannon Beelman with Shannon Beelman Photography. She's the best. I'm sure if you guys have been following our Facebooks and Instagrams, you've seen her stuff. She makes really beautiful flyers that incorporates all the pictures that she's taken here with all these people. Tell us all about what you're doing.
I just love documenting life. That's my tagline. Shannon Beelman Photography, documenting life.
That's beautiful.
It's normally one image at a time, or I do one video at a time, depending on what I'm working at, but it's really documenting life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a realist photographer. I like the posed moments when people look at my camera and smile, but there's so much more when you catch, like I've caught a couple of you guys that I'll have to share at some point. You catch a couple at a moment when they may be in a room full of people, but they're the only two there for that moment.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You know, a parent watching their child play.
Wait a minute, you have some of those with me and Nate?
You guys are cute at quite a few moments.
Oh my gosh.
You can see and maybe it's because of what I do, but you can see the camaraderie, the love,
just the connection
right,
people.
that you guys have,
cool.
especially with you guys. But yeah, I love watching people watch their children, or the look on your face when all the kids were in here playing with the parachute. Yeah, it's fun to see that side of everyone.
Reactions.
Right, it's not all posed and made pretty for the camera. It's the nitty-gritty of life.
That's funny. So I'm not a photographer by any means, but I do know when I'm taking pictures for Happy Earth Market, I never say anything to anybody. I just start snapping pictures. I want the naturalness.
Right.
Well, it makes it more authentic, right? Because it's all a storytelling.
That's right. That's right. It's very documentary what I do.
Yeah.
I really want people to get a feeling of being there, whether it's one of the events I'm covering here, or any of my collections that I do where I actually go out to locations and shoot. I want people to feel like they can imagine themselves there, or it brings back emotions of something, maybe some fair you used to go to with your family when you were growing up, or a place you saw on a road trip.
What's the reminder? What's the connection for you? Right.
Right. And when it's all posed, it's pretty and it's good for advertising, but I don't think it evokes the same emotion that just the rawness of life does. So I really try to capture that. That's why a lot of times I just kind of flutter behind the scenes around here, you know.
And you're really good.
You blend well.
You come in costume usually, and I say costume because it's your attire.
Right.
But it's just you, and it's sparkly, and it's fun, and your hair is always bright red or some bright color, and you know, you hear the click, 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 you know, around the room, and it's really cool because you do chameleon-ish, you know, in here, especially at Happy Earth Market.
Yeah.
You blend right into the wall. Nobody even notices you.
Well, and that's what I want, because I want, especially at this place, you get there's such a peaceful look that can come about people. I haven't shared the pictures of the drum circle 2 weeks ago yet, or a week ago. But there was such a peacefulness to everybody who was sitting in the circle, and you know, if they know I'm there, if I make myself too aware, I'll never get that. I mean, I'll get the fun of the event, but you won't get the emotion of the event.
Right.
And that's kind of what this place is about, is the emotion of it, you know.
There's a lot of emotion here to take pictures of, that's for sure.
Yes.
How fun.
I guess, you know, it's this probably is a fun place to shoot. Just all the color and you know, I've never seen a bad picture taken at Happy Earth Market, just because the backgrounds are so spectacular that they're just great pictures. It's funny that our Facebook memory, like the other day, it showed when this place is all white walls, and I swear it doesn't even look like the same place.
No.
It is. It's funny. It doesn't even look like the same room. Like, it's crazy, and this place really has kind of taken.
Makes me want to cry actually, looking around, thinking of, because I did see those pictures too, and it was so bland. I don't know if you saw how white it was in here, and we had like the red strip across the wall, and that was it. But it was so big. You know, the white walls, when we came in here, it was so big, and we even jumped around and sang, look at all this room for activities, you know what I mean? But, but then, like, the paint came in donations, of course, in different colors, and here we are in this beautiful space that has all this background.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And I'm excited for doing actual photo sessions in here.
Yeah.
The event that I'm going to do with Santa in September, that I don't need a backdrop for that. This shop works as a backdrop.
It looks like Santa's workshop.
Right, it's Santa's workshop everybody's coming to. So
right.
Why cover anything up? Why make another backdrop? Just add a few props to make it
more Christmassy,
right,
feeling, or
have a
Santa
little
Clausy.
Yeah, it's already there. It's a fun space.
I love the biggest compliment I ever get in this place is when kids are crying. I don't want to go. Like, this isn't a video game. There's not a video game here.
Right.
This isn't a television. This isn't their iPad. This isn't any of that. And when they're here, I don't think I could think of a kid that's been on them unless it was maybe during a meditation where they needed to be quiet.
Right. Well, the props that you brought for your photo shoot during Kids
great.
Day, and it was 4th of July theme.
Yes.
It was so cute and so focused, and again, I go back to the playful backdrop because it looked like they were in a completely kid. They were here.
Yeah.
They were at Kids Day. You could tell they were at a kid thing, you know.
Right.
And you were taking special pictures of them with their cute little masks and props and stuff.
And they have so much fun. You know, they were so shy
Playful.
and timid to come up, but once they opened up and understood what I was doing, they all wanted to come and play and, you know, do silly things. And we have one kid that was trying to put on, I think, everything I had.
I think he managed to get it all on.
Yeah.
What I loved about watching you with the kids, though, is you get down on your knees.
Yeah.
You get down on your knees with them, and you talk to them, and you get them comfortable with putting all this goofy stuff on and getting fun in front of the camera. And I know some photographers, and I've never witnessed them doing that kind of behavior with the kids when they're taking pictures of them that way, where you're taking a whatever that's called, a portrait picture or whatever.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
Well, those are just, those are kind of photo booth type pictures,
Okay.
you know, just real fun. But I do the same thing when we're in portrait mode.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a fancy backdrop and we were doing a full-on portrait with the family, I would be doing the same thing. Part of it maybe from, you know, I'm sure it's from being mom, grandma. I was a stay-at-home, so I really spent a lot of time learning how to communicate and get kids interested in things and
You're really good at it.
crafts and doing things
Yeah.
and let's get outside, let's
Play.
yeah, let's have fun, enjoy life.
Yeah.
It's only once. I mean, seriously, it's only once. So
It's only once being
you
a
gotta
kid,
have
you
fun.
mean? I don't know, you do
You
a
gotta have
pretty
fun.
good job at looking like a grown-up. Looking like a grandma, you say?
A grandma.
How many
Yes.
kids? How many grandkids?
I have 3 children I gave birth to,
Mhm.
and I have a foster son.
Okay.
So I have 4 children total, two girls, 2 boys, and I now have 5 grandchildren,
Whoa.
ranging from the age of, oh my goodness, is he 14 now? I'm pretty sure he's 14 now to
Teenager.
10. Yeah, I have teenage grandchildren.
Oh my goodness.
It's kind of a mind-blowing thing, but
They're
here.
They're all local, all of them?
3 of them are up in Indian Springs,
Okay.
which isn't too far. It's
No, that's
nice.
super close.
And then my other two are up in Minnesota. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's a little bit, harder to see them. 3 of my kids are back home. One's up here in Indian Springs. So
That's nice.
Home is Minnesota?
Minnesota,
Okay.
yes.
So you
yes.
grew up with the cold?
Yes, I come from the cold and the snow and the oofta. And
Oofta, what does that mean?
oofta, it's one of our terms that we use quite. Oofta and oy vey. We have a very
Oofta.
there was
Yiddish?
actually a book and play on how to speak Minnesotan.
Well, Minnesota, they definitely have a
What?
dialect.
Are you
They
serious?
definitely have a dialect. Don't you know?
We don't
That's
know. We have our
funny.
very own dialect,
That's
very much so.
I can
crazy.
almost always. I'm surprised I didn't catch you, because I can almost always tell, no matter how long somebody's been away from that area, either been Minnesota or Wisconsin.
Mhm.
Like, I can almost always catch. They have one small tweak to their accent or a term. Like, even if they've been here since they were kids, I'll catch it a little bit. So I'm
Yeah,
surprised I didn't catch
it's
it.
usually in the vowels
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
catch
a
people.
little- Yep, for sure.
Yeah, because we definitely stretch those vowels.
That's
we
funny.
like to really accentuate them.
Well, when did you leave Minnesota?
2015.
20. Oh, so okay, so
Recently.
Recent, yeah.
Wow.
So you've been in Minnesota this whole time.
Do you miss the cold?
We kind of bounced around, but yeah, basically.
Okay.
I was born in Wisconsin, raised in Minnesota. We lived in Georgia for a little bit. I don't miss a thing about the cold. Do not miss the cold. Do not. I miss taking pictures of the snow.
Sure. The snow's gorgeous, but who
Right.
wants to sit in it?
Well, and all the seasonal trees and stuff. They change
Yeah.
colors. That's pretty.
And I've just been sharing a lot of my portrait work that I've done outside with leaves. And, people have leaves falling along their face. I have one of my
How fun.
grandson dumping leaves on his mom when we're out doing
Aw.
a photo shoot. It's fun. There's stuff that,
Nature.
I miss nature a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a lake girl.
Mm.
Yeah, I grew up by the lakes, able to
Okay.
bike to the lakes. When I got my bike, if I needed to unwind, I was riding around the lakes or the
Yeah.
parkways. When I got my car, I was driving around the parkways.
So is that basically what you did as a teenager then, is just hang out in nature?
For the little bit of time that I actually got to be a teenager, I was a teenage mom. So
Okay.
at 16, I had my first child.
Wow.
That's young.
Very young.
Hard.
Yeah, and there was a lot of decision making at that point.
You grew up real quick.
Yeah, real quick. And
How did your parents, were you living, I mean, obviously you were at home, duh.
Yeah.
But how'd your parents deal with that?
It was hard, but they were supportive.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was good. And yeah, I really made a conscious decision at that point that I'll be young enough when my kids are grown up to still enjoy.
Mhm.
There's not a darn thing in this world that I can't put off for 18 years
Yeah, I hear
to
that.
raise these children.
Yeah.
So, I really put a lot of stuff away to take care of the kids. I got kicked out of high school because I was a teenage mom trying to, and they just implemented a 10-day rule. You're out of school 10 days, excused or unexcused, you're out.
Wow.
And as a junior in high school, they were telling me it was going to take 4 more years to graduate. So I went and got my GED, and I went
Oh,
to
good for you.
college
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
got straight A's in college, and basically said, you know what,
There
screw
you
you.
go.
Don't need you, system. I'm out.
Well,
Nice.
they have never been known as the friendliest, bendable, compassionate group of people.
Well, and then in the 80s, it's still the same, of course. It's all
Yeah.
about the money. But in the 80s, we weren't teaching to the test.
Mhm.
We were just, every student was worth a certain dollar amount for
Yeah.
a certain amount of time, and you better be ready to graduate by the time the feds won't pay for you anymore, or we'll find a way to get you out. How many kids from the 70s and 80s absolutely could not read, and they had a high school diploma?
Right.
Yeah. I
Instead
know.
of teaching to the test, we just get them out as fast as we can.
No, it's the same way where I grew up. Like, all I had to do was to pass school was to show up.
Right,
Seriously.
right. It was bad. It was really bad.
And I couldn't even do that, so.
You went to college.
Yeah, I had issues myself, so.
Yeah.
Might be part of the
Well,
reason the teen pregnancy. Yeah.
we definitely empathize. We were very young parents too,
Yeah.
and we had that same conversation. Like, well, we're gonna be done if we just have this one at like 36, 37.
37. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eli was a baby, and we jingled it. It was
37?
like 37,
Mhm.
30.
Yeah.
37. You know, the age. That's
Yeah.
how old we'll be when he graduates high school. Doesn't
Right.
mean he'll be gone, but at least then we did our job. That's
Right.
Ooh, we got to get to 37, right? And so you get to that point, you just put it on hold.
And so we did this.
Right.
Yeah, after he left, it's like, okay, here, let's just. Oops.
So what? So college? Did you photography in college? What career path was that kind of?
No, actually, the first round of college, I took gender studies.
Oh.
So I left school basically
Is that as?
set to be. I could be a social worker,
Okay.
you know,
Is
help
that
people.
Is it a sociology degree or?
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of women's studies,
Mhm.
a lot of African American and Native
Okay.
American studies.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of cultural stuff.
Cool. So that's
So
awesome.
yeah, it was a nice grounding. But then when I was in college, I got pregnant with my third child. It was planned. I'm like, okay, my second one's getting ready to start kindergarten. I'm like, I have a plan in mind, and if we don't have another baby pretty darn soon, there's not going to be a third one.
Right.
So we had number 3, and I stayed home. I spent the next 20 years at home with my children.
That's great. I wish more people could do that on either
That's
gender. I
nice.
don't care which
Yeah,
one.
it was nice.
Yeah.
Children, I had my dad at home. I had my
Okay.
grandmother at home for a while.
Oh wow! So they grew up the whole family. That's
Yeah.
great. No, that's great.
That's
That's
beautiful.
amazing. That's not the typical American story.
And that's probably really nice because your kids are probably pretty well rounded. They had a bunch of people making sure they were doing it good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, keeping an eye on them and stuff.
Yeah, and then they got to experience a lot about different generations. 'Cause,
That's neat.
yeah, having the older generations in the house was really
Yeah, that's cool.
eye-opening for them. Yeah.
It's valuable.
Yeah, I really think it is.
I do too.
Yeah, I wish. Yeah. Well, I mean, people still. I don't know.
It's so hard. It is really hard. Even back in the late 80s through the 90s when we first started doing it, and you weren't the stay-at-home stuff. Wages weren't high, but cost of living was at a point where you could kind of do it.
Sure.
But as the kids got older and things got more back and forth with money and cost of living, we had to make very conscious choices as each step went on. It's like, okay, I don't need to, there's a lot of things I went without just because I want to be home with the kids.
Sure.
I would rather be home with the kids than be at the hair salon or be getting my nails done or have a closet full of shoes or purses.
Absolutely.
Or
So you weren't a material girl.
no, not at all. And doing it now that the kids are grown up, I still find myself in the store going, I don't know, but this is so cute for the grandkids. Do I really need that? Nah, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's good though, and that's a good way to be and to influence your kids and grandkids because they're seeing you be that way.
Yeah.
That influences them, even if they don't necessarily act that way yet.
Right.
That's how I think.
Right.
To think anyway.
You be the change you want to see.
Yeah, well,
and
exactly.
that's very much a philosophy I like to try to go by.
Yeah. Well, it's a good way to be. Who taught you that?
It's a quote I read, and it just spoke to me. It was in a very dark time in my life, and I was I couldn't even leave my bedroom for a while. Very dark time in my life. So I was trying to find things that I could focus on and get through to help me cope and start to pull myself out of my bedroom. There was a point, right around the time my grandson was born, so about 15 years ago, where I literally could not even walk out of my bedroom to answer the telephone. I was so petrified, I was so trapped, I was so bottled up that just leaving the room was
Too
Oh, wow.
hard to do.
Yeah, it was
Anxiety?
Anxiety, post-traumatic, a lot of post-traumatic. So it was, it was a struggle and a cycle to really start to pull myself out and be able to start to live life again and do what I needed to do.
So how?
Yeah, how did you
How
get out
did
of
you
there?
figure it out? How did you figure it out? Like, what was the trigger that made you go, okay, I gotta open the door and get out of my bedroom. It's time to start living again.
Part of it was part of what I share at open mic. Those poems I read at open mic,
Mm-hmm.
those came out of my head without any effort. It was literally sit down, grab the pen, and my head started spewing in lyric form. Everything from my earliest memory to that moment I was sitting there. And it went on for about almost a month. And when it was done, it was just like there was this big weight that was just gone. All this baggage and nightmare and garbage that had now, there's still stuff I'm working on now because there's residual, but it took a large piece of all that baggage that I had been carrying for so long and just let it fall aside, let it fall away. Now it was stories. It's stories I tell other people now. It's not sitting inside me anymore. And that helped a lot. And then I just started coming back. You know, I had to take care of my dad. My dad got sick with cancer. My husband got sick with Lyme disease, almost passed away. And then I got sick. So it was just this
Bam, bam, bam.
rotation, yeah.
Yeah,
and
adulting life things. Yay!
and all of a sudden there was no option. You can't sit in your bedroom. You have to take dad to clinic.
Time to get to work.
Right. You can't
People
sit in your bedroom.
People need
right.
me. Yeah.
Can't do
Yeah,
this
you
anymore.
gotta be part of the family.
Right.
Yeah,
Let's go.
people need you. You
Let's
gotta
go.
step up now.
Yeah,
Wow.
so yeah, after that really life helped me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't
So
that
tragedy
strange?
got you out of tragedy.
Very much so.
Wow.
Very much so.
Beautiful.
Isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How that works. So, looking
Well,
back on that, have you seen that like a pattern of that behavior all the time too? Like as far as looking back through your life, because I know for me personally, when I look at all the sufferings that I go through, when I'm, the things, when I've gone through my own sufferings, that I always see there's a lesson there. And recently, especially, I've been noticing, like, in my past, like, oh, God, that was a suffering. Oh, but look at that lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you...
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that, especially the last, the last 5 years or so, really coming out of my own illness and coming out of my own change of life and trying to find my direction now that, everybody's grown up and moved on and doing their own thing. And
right. There's no more nest.
Where does mom fit
where
now?
do you
no
fit
more
now?
nest,
Yeah,
right?
I
The nest is no more
100%.
needed.
Right.
So, well, do you want to talk about your illness a little bit? Because
Sure.
it's a powerful story, sister. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Rockstar.
2009 now, and it started really simple. I had a dog that liked to stand on me, and it hurt when she stood there. She was maybe 5 pounds, soaking wet.
Oh, okay. So a little dog.
Yeah, little teeny tiny dog, and she'd stand on my chest, and when she stood on my left breast, it hurt, like miserable hurt. So I started going to the doctor, and series of doctors, series of tests. We discovered that I have, at this point, it's still a stage 0. Thankful, so thankful. Highly aggressive, very large breast cancer.
Very early.
No, I caught it. They figure it was in me for 20 years.
Wow.
You got it very late.
fully contained. We caught it right before it was ready to
do its thing.
To decide to break out and wreak havoc in the body.
Okay.
So of course, lots of testing, find out whole body, where everything is, and I decided to do a double mastectomy, which is removal of both breasts. And at that point, in the order to feel like a woman, it is an amputation.
Right.
It feels like an amputation. I have phantom pains like an amputation.
Interesting.
I made a joke right after it. Not a lot of people find it funny. I think it's frickin' hilarious. My husband and I had gotten out of the car, freezing cold Minnesota winter, and I look at him and I go, in a lab somewhere, my nipples are getting hard right now.
That's really good.
Oh my gosh. That's funny.
At any
But
rate,
you have to laugh, right?
You have
because
to.
if you don't, how else do you cope?
What's the option? Right.
I understand that.
Yeah, this is like, earth-shattering, life-changing. Am I going to see my grandkids grow up moment? It's like, wow. So I decided to reconstruct because there's enough going on in my brain. I don't want to deal with the societal issues of being flat-chested.
Yeah, right.
It's a lot. Yeah,
right.
It's a lot. So I opt for reconstruction, and they do silicone breast implants. Well, I started out with saline breast implants. And I never got healthy. I just kept getting sicker and sicker. And we found another lump, went in for another surgery. At that point, we changed out the implants because I felt like they had made me too large. It wasn't fitting with my frame. And I had those in about 2 years when the first one ruptured. And I got extremely sick. I have friends that have told me that they really thought I was going to pass.
Oh my gosh. So you were hospitalized, obviously. And
I was in and out of the ER. They could never find anything wrong. Heart palpitations, breathing issues, horrible swelling, both legs, face, hands. I was yellow.
Because it was all inside your bloodstream, right? It was just in your body.
In my body. My hair was falling out.
Oh my gosh. What else is in those things besides saline? It can't be just saline. What else?
There's like a list of 50-something chemicals. They just released pictures of the guys who actually fill these things, and they're in full-on hazmat suits when they're filling these implants.
Right,
and then they're putting them inside of us.
It's a foreign liquid already in your body, and then it just explodes. I got to think that even if it was just water, right, it would cause some problems. Well, the problem with the saline implants is it's still a silicone outer shell. It still has all the chemicals in it. The implants they put in me were brought in through the back door. There's already a device on the market that the FDA has approved. We're just making a minor change to it. So they let it on the market, and then the companies agreed to do
a
post test after it's done. They didn't do the testing. Nobody ever tested what was going to happen to this supposedly solid silicone or gel-like silicone when they put it at human body temperatures.
Yeah.
And it's
so kind of just like dissolved.
There was nothing left. Yeah, my doctor said it was just a mess in there.
Jelly grossness, probably.
Right, and they were both ruptured. Now, there's a lot of debate about breast implant illness and whether or not these things are really making us sick. And I don't push my beliefs, my thoughts on anyone. I tell my story, and I let people make their own judgment. But I'll tell you, I went to my eye doctor the other day. 2 years ago, for no reason, I developed an acute astigmatism. Never had astigmatism in my life. Didn't even need glasses beyond reading glasses till my first set of implants went in. When I went to the eye doctor the other day, my astigmatism is gone. The eye doctor, the only thing they can figure is there was so much pressure from the swelling in my body on my optic nerve that it was affecting my eyesight.
That makes complete sense to me.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it?
And all of a sudden, now everything looks funky through these glasses because I have to get the new ones yet. But well,
that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it was
interesting though.
The amount that our body fights to get rid of this stuff, to get it out.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't push my beliefs on anyone. I'll talk to women who have breast cancer, who are going through their own decisions, and I'll tell them my story. I'll tell them what happened. if they really choose to go that route, I pray that, but the implants are setting off autoimmune responses in a lot of women's bodies, even women who never had cancer. Cancer is an autoimmune disease. For these doctors and these companies to be marketing these to somebody who's already had an autoimmune illness is criminal. I think it's horrible. It's atrocious. They're setting us up. I just listened to a story of a woman who, you go through the breast cancer, you get the reconstruction, and now she's got a very rare form of immune system cancer, and the only culprit that they have found for this cancer is the breast implants. So trying to feel normal after a horrible experience.
Yeah.
And
then you have to deal with more.
Right. 9 years, 9 surgeries, and I'm just starting to get back to who I was pre-doctors going, you need to do all this, you know?
Yeah. And to go back to the very beginning, the cyst had been there for 20 years.
Right.
According to what they told you.
Right. Well, and there's a very good possibility, because if you track it back, the type of calcifications that led to my breast cancer develop naturally in women as we age, but they also develop through blunt force trauma to an area.
Sure.
The area that the cancer developed was the area of my body that popped through the door when I got hit by the drunk driver 20 years before that. So there's a good possibility that just that trauma of going out of the car, of hitting, I mean, it was a 1970 car. It was solid steel.
Yeah, we were there.
So, there's a possibility that right there started this whole thing. That there's nothing my children have to worry about, although now they do, But, yeah.
Worry about, like, on the low.
Well, no, I think what you're meaning is like hereditary. Maybe
right.
Maybe that damn drunk driver gave you cancer.
Right. Is that?
I mean, you never know.
It's life circles, and
those are two big survival stories right there. Surviving a drunk driving accident, it was that much trauma, and then multiples.
That's another story on itself. Yeah, that was something. And I had 2 more kids after that. I mean,
So did you catch the artist bug while you were sick?
The artist bug, I think I've always had.
Okay.
Drew when I was little. I was given a camera when I was little as a way to kind of form a mutual interest with my stepdad.
Okay, he was a photographer too.
He liked to snap. Yeah, okay. It's a hobby. So that kind of started it, and then I always had the camera in my kids' face. Always.
You were Instagram before it was cool.
Yeah. My kids have so many pictures. And then I did my daughter's graduation pictures. And my family, my parents were so taken by them. My friends were so taken by them.
Oh, excellent.
My parents went out and bought me my first professional digital camera.
Sweethearts.
Talk about supportive parents.
Yeah,
that's great.
that was nice.
That's beautiful.
And then I just played with it for a while, and finally my son talked me into going to photography school. And
cool.
Your son did?
Yeah, after the cancer treatment, he's like, go. I've always encouraged him in his sports.
Yeah.
And he's just like, go do what you love, Mom.
Oh.
So I started
kids great
photography. They're
in
awesome.
that way when they give you like,
so,
go Mom, go Mom,
right.
go.
Yeah, when they're your little cheerleader.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Neat.
So, I went to school because I was good at what I was doing. I had room for improvement, of course, but
we always do.
I wanted to understand why people liked my stuff. What was I doing right? What could I do better?
Sure.
I wanted to learn light. I wanted to learn how to make light do what I want it to do. Because I can't always sit around and wait for the sun to be in the right spot to I've got to learn how to make the light do what I want it to do.
It's good meditation practice.
It is, but when you're on a schedule with a screaming child, you want to make that light.
That's true.
You want to manipulate
We're talking
the light.
about bringing kids into it, I suppose.
Right.
Damn kids.
No, they're awesome.
So yeah, that kind of started it all. And when I got out of school, I don't know, my marriage failed, ended up out here, and I just kind of decided, I've got to do something with this. Mm-hmm. And even with that, it's been a little bit. I've been sick. I've been trying to get better, so I've never really shown my art. Setting up here at the third Saturday Bazaar I did was the first time anybody outside of Facebook or my immediate circle had seen any of my work. So it was
so nice.
Everybody's pretty jazzed about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an experience to start to learn how to put it out there and take the reaction from people. Mm-hmm. That was
good or bad, right?
Right,
yeah.
right.
And it's continued practice. I'm gonna have to start teaching you the ropes as far as like how to start approaching people. Like, hey, come here, look.
Yeah.
Especially during these events, because you're always in the shadows, which is cool for that. But
if you want to sell it, you gotta
be your entrepreneurship sister. You are trying to build this as your business, and so. Yeah.
It would be nice if
that anxiety, you got to keep coming out of your bedroom because you're amazing.
Thank you.
You are. You're a beautiful spirit. Your story is powerful. It's inspiring. I'm sure it's inspiring even to Nathan, and he's a guy.
Yeah, it would be nice, like you're talking about. It'd be nice if like our work just sold itself. But in the age that we live in, or maybe it was always that way, like people are more apt to buy art if they know the story behind it, if they know your story and what you were doing. Mm-hmm. I've watched it happen several times in here. Someone explains the piece, and that piece sells. Mm-hmm. It just goes.
The artist. People, I think it's really people buying the artist.
People are buying the artist, and now they have a connection with you to the piece, so it just all makes sense.
Yeah, it really does. I think it's fun when you have a piece, because I've noticed it even with with people who collect art, that they're more excited and passionate about their pieces, that they know the artist or they know the story of the artist.
Totally. Because then they tell everybody, oh yeah, and this guy.
Because people will go up to the painting and go, or picture and go, what is this? And actually the artist, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. It's beautiful to be able to have a story to tell for the piece that people see.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just a piece of picture on the wall, right?
Right.
Piece of picture?
A piece of picture.
It's a piece of picture on the wall.
Yeah. No. So, I'm just curious. You lived in a very snowy place. Your parents seem super supportive. We have Santa Claus coming. Did you have Santa Claus when you were a kid? Come into town? Did he visit you often? Was he magical?
Yes. And what I told my kids growing up, and what I tell everybody is, as long as you believe in Santa, he'll keep coming. As long as you believe in the magic, it's always there. My kids were so anxious to grow up. Everybody's so anxious to grow up and put that magic away. And people go back and forth that we're telling tall tales and we're making up.
I was just going to say that.
Did you know?
But it's lying to your kids.
There's such a magic in the whole. I think it's a good way to bring kids into the understanding, especially young kids, into the understanding of just compassion and giving, and when we take away the consumer end and make it about the magic. That's why I like the wooden toys and the old world, and that's what my art is all about too. It's the old trains, it's the old gas stations, it's the way life used to be.
Right.
What we're missing today. Right. By every stop you stop at, it's the same stores, it's the same
products.
Everything's the same now. Right.
Yeah, but I mean, like, example, we were in Texas to visit our son. There was no, it was like I was everywhere else.
Right.
It was like I was in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Crazy consumerism.
It's bad. And it's all about getting back to the small stuff and the individual. There was something about walking main streets and, you know, driving at 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour and enjoying the scenery.
Life was a lot slower too.
Right. Stopping on the side of the road for a picnic.
You know, it's funny. Vegas really has. I'm enjoying Vegas right now. There's just a lot of people trying to do a lot of different things right now. It's really fun time. And I don't know if it's like that everywhere, but Vegas has like this renaissance or scene right now where there's all these just strange entrepreneurs trying to do all this weird stuff, like in brick and mortars, not just on the internet. Like that's strange enough, but they're like no, they're putting the internet like into businesses.
Yeah.
Well, why can't a business be everything? Everything is everything right now. You know what I mean? Like all these just eclectic businesses. You know what I mean? It's a lot of fun. Like you can just bounce around town to these really cool, niche local venues that are just hidden all over Vegas. It's a good time.
And I like the feel of all of. There's starting to be a lot of almost community promoting type going on.
Totally.
And it's
nice.
We were talking about it a little bit earlier. It's going against the big box. It's the only way we all have to go against the big box.
It's the only way we got a chance.
Right.
We're all fighting against it, so let's cross arms and just do it together and help each other out.
Why do I only want to put up my art on my page as much as I want people to come in and look at my art? And I love sharing it and putting it up. But what does it mean if I'm just putting mine up? I'm staying so single-minded when I can tell people that the picture was taken at New Orleans Square at Happy Earth Market and this artist was here and that artist. I mean, when we can do that and start promoting each other, then your people look at my stuff because you're tagged in it, and my people look at your stuff because you're tagged in it, and all of a sudden we've got this big community of marketing, and
everybody's helping and supporting each other.
Exactly. It's great.
It's beautiful.
And I think people are tired of the big box. Like they're really tired of the box stores. Like, okay, thanks. The same garbage is just gonna break. Like, people are generally like, they like the convenience. Don't get me wrong. Everybody has that necessity to go grab something at Walmart every once in a while. But if you're getting, people just are. I don't know. I think people are over it.
I hope so. We're getting there. I
think people are getting over it.
I think maybe, I don't know. I feel like we live in a bubble in here. It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. Yeah, we definitely live in an echo chamber. Don't ask us.
Yeah, you guys do live in a place that attracts a lot of like-minded individuals.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, it is.
What do we know? Everybody changed. Nobody did. It was just, oh damn it.
Still just ours.
And I do get that.
Take your rose-colored glasses off.
When I do go to the mall and I do go to Walmart, I do go, oh. It's all still here.
Still here.
Oh yeah, which is beautiful. But you know what? That goes to show that this is proof that you get to create your reality.
Right.
It's true. That's true.
There's
a good way to see that.
So much to be said about the energy we put out. The shift in everything from going from a place of looking at what's wrong to going to a place to looking at what's right.
Yeah, I mean, I can get bogged down in get bogged down in arguments on Facebook. I could. And it's real easy, and it's fun, and it makes you feel like shit, but really good at the same time.
Right.
Or I could just create the community that I want to see. Like, I remember I had my uncle, like, 2 years ago, just before we opened up this place, and was like, oh, whoever in office this, just angry. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm over that. I'm just going to create the community I want to see.
Right.
I'm done with it. Go, stop worrying about it and go create. Like, that's my advice to the whole planet.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, the Nito, they're over there doing that. You know what I mean? But you know who affects me is the people that I'm with all the time.
That's right.
It's not that. That's not your reality. Whether they're going to let or not let immigrants in, really, when you wake up in the morning, it doesn't affect you at all.
Right.
It did nothing for you. Work on something that does something for you.
Yeah.
Speak it, honey.
That's-
Speak
that's
it.
it,
Yeah.
I love it. I love
Me
it.
too. Me
Yeah,
too.
it's totally the way it should be.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
silliness. The whole thing is silliness, and it's hilarious. And the fact that you don't feel like you're being duped when you watch that stuff. Like, I turn on the news, I watch Fox 5 because it's comedy in the morning,
Right.
right? But if I actually
fun.
turn
It
on
is.
the actual news, I'm like, how are you not realizing that this is it's just entertainment?
Right.
There's no validity to these stories.
No.
It's just silliness, so you keep watching.
Right. And they sensationalize too much.
So
And they
silly.
take us so far away from the things that we do need to worry about.
Yeah.
There are things that we honestly need to
Of
be
course there
educated
are.
about and worry about and listen to.
Is that right?
And they're
So
so
what
far
are,
removed.
tell, what are you passionate about
Yeah, what
then?
are your
So what's your
top 5?
My top 5? Well, I'll tell you, I brought my own bags to the supermarket before it was a thing, before
Okay.
they were selling them at every checkout. I had my bag of bags that went everywhere with me.
How did you, why? Where'd you learn that? Why'd you learn?
It was actually, I think, a trip out to the West that did it for me.
One of those hippie places.
No, it was seeing the dang plastic bags in the trees.
Oh.
Oh.
And stuck on the fences.
Mm.
And
Oh, you're driving.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm just like,
I hear you. I hate it.
oh my gosh, that's so.
The national bird.
Right. It just.
Absolutely, plastic bag's a national bird.
Yeah.
And then I think what really cemented it for me, it's a great story, but really cemented it for me was one year my husband and I decided we were going to look for the Winter Carnival token. They hide it in a park every year, and I think that year we were getting like season tickets to the Twins or something if you found
Okay,
it.
that's a good
So
price.
we're out looking for it, and I see this bag up in this tree. I'm like, there's no reason a bag should be up in a tree. So here's me. I found it. I go up. It's a bag of dog doo that somebody decided to throw in a tree.
People are awesome.
And
I
I
don't understand.
really think that was like my cementing moment
That'll
on
do
the
it.
whole plastic bag.
Number one, why is there dog shit in a bag anyway? Why do people do that?
Right.
Well, you know what?
If
Like,
you just leave it in the dirt,
honestly, unless it's in a place where somebody's going to step in and it's rude, you really shouldn't be picking your dog's shit.
Right.
No,
right.
it's-
Like if you're on
Stay
a
on the
nature walk, like your dog shit can't be here, but all the other animals that live here shit can be here. That get this toxic waste out of here. Like, give me a break. You're gonna waste something that's gonna be on the planet forever to pick up something that doesn't matter. It's gonna biodegrade in like 3
3
days.
days,
Right.
especially here.
It's gonna be gone, and also it's gonna be food for insects and animals and all the things that are part of the biosphere. Or excuse me, you know what I'm saying?
That's a good word.
But
We are,
instead,
yeah.
you put it in a plastic bag, so it's gonna be encased in a tomb for the next 100 years.
Forever. Right.
Give me a break.
It makes no sense.
I mean,
no sense.
I understand cleaning, like if your dog makes mess in somebody's yard.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
different though.
Or-
That's somebody's
Or you're on the
yard.
hiking trail. You're on the hiking trail. Your dog isn't off in the.
I bury it.
If the
Right.
yeah,
There's
no,
ways to take
I
care
bury
of
it.
You just kick it to the side. You put dirt on it and then kick it to the
Yeah,
side
it's-
into the dirt and then put dirt on it.
Like I hate when you go to national parks
Not
and
a big
trails
deal.
and you walk, and I get it too, but I still hate it. Is that you walk? The first thing at the beginning of the trail is a big old tin full of dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dog plastic bags.
Yeah, it's the plastic bag issue drives.
It's really a
Crazy.
dependency we don't
So
need.
that
So
was
that's
one.
that's number.
Yeah.
That's
so is
one.
that 5? Are we going? Which order we go? No order.
No
Or was
order.
that the mo-
no order.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
this
So
is
what's
just,
number 4?
Um,
I mean, now I'm going in order.
And it's old school, but I still really watch it, is the rings that cans come attached to. I know a lot of
Oh,
places
yeah,
are
yeah.
getting away from them, but there's still, it's a huge
So-
So we're still on plastic.
So plastic is still the
Pla-
same
yeah,
issue.
plastic is just
Pretty
a-
much
Plastic's
it.
the issue.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
we agree with you. You and I can be friends.
The plastic drives me nuts in all aspects, yeah.
What about like social issue?
Okay, there's one that,
We'll do genres.
oh, driving back from here, we were moving back from here to Minnesota when all I had left at home was our son. My daughter had already joined the military. She hadn't been overseas yet, but she joined the military. And I just recently watched Iraq for Sale, and I don't know how many watched that documentary, but it's about KBR Halliburton and what they've done in country. At any rate, I'm driving.
Google it, everybody.
I'm driving, and I'm having a hard time handling the truck, so we pull into this parking lot to switch drivers. And as I come around, my headlights flash, and there's all these KBR Halliburton. I pulled into a parking lot full of their vehicles.
Oh, what?
So here's my husband and my son, like, you're not getting out of, I'm going to go slash every tire out there. You're not getting out of the vehicle, Mom. No, I didn't. They didn't let me out of the vehicle. I wanted to so bad.
I wonder what would have happened. What they've done, I wonder. They were inside a motel or something?
Yeah, I must have just pulled in by where it wasn't much off 40, and I don't know how many people get to travel along old U.S. highways, but I've discovered by traveling Route 66 and a lot of the old U.S. highways that aren't used much anymore.
Yeah, we take them too. We love it. KBR
Halliburton's all over the part of the country. Any place where they're fracking, you can guarantee you're going to find
absolutely.
KBR Halliburton. Mm-hmm. So, I wasn't far off 40. I'm pretty sure I was close to one of their little
facilities
operations they were doing, and,
What a coincidence, though, huh? Synchronicities and stuff. Seriously.
So they have so many issues. I mean, you can't even put them in one place. Yeah, but that definitely started with just the treatment of our servicemen.
Yeah, my realization was that was actually in country. I was like, okay, wow, we're here for this.
Yeah.
This is what we're not here to liberate anything. We are here we are here to fund the war machine, and that's what makes our economy continue to sustain. Mm-hmm. It's those big Halliburton no bid contracts, those big KBR contracts, and all the other companies. That's why we're fighting. We're fighting so that they can do those big no bid $1 billion contracts for a tennis shoe, whatever. But that's why.
And then they can run our service members out of jobs that have been done by our service personnel forever, and that make 4, 5, 10 times as much as our service member would make doing the same damn job.
And then there's a cost at that too, because there's innocent people dying.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason at all other than
BS,
money.
Man.
It's horrible.
Oh,
horrible,
it just, I swear, it's setting off in me.
Yeah.
Those people just, them and the companies like them irk me to no end.
So basically what you're saying is your social issue is also plastic.
Yeah.
The byproduct of the oil, which is what we're doing here, is all of the packaging.
It all
goes back to plastic again.
Yeah.
And plastic is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's nuts.
Crazy how it's developed into what we are doing all around the world, and from extraction to dumping into the landfill, aka ocean.
Look,
and it's just so like
the plastic goes right down to my health issue. Down to my health
literally
issue.
Inside.
Yeah.
Right. They put it inside me.
Yeah.
The havoc it wreaked inside my body, and now my body is so hypersensitive, I can't use something as simple as a Neosporin. Anything that has any kind of petroleum, any kind of, my skin reacts. It's like burning. It's like it's burning me. Like my skin is on fire, blisters, burning. Yeah.
So if I was to sum this show up in one sentence, it would be: take care of your family, follow your dreams, and fight the plastic agenda.
Sounds good.
Wow.
Do you guys believe that's been a whole hour?
Or UFTA.
UFTA.
Yeah. What does that mean?
UFTA is kind of the sigh.
Oh.
Well then,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Then UFTA. What? Yeah.
Do you have websites?
Well, we have websites, and we also have things coming up. So besides,
let's hear about them.
Yeah, you're always going to be coming to Kids Day, as far as I'm hoping.
Yes, I'm going to be here as much as my schedule allows. I'll be at Kid Day.
Every second Friday at 3 p.m.
And then we do the third Saturday Bazaar. Mm-hmm. I'm here for that.
As always with your booth, and you have portraits for sale. cool little magnets and
we
button
have
things. They're so pretty.
More printing coming. I have some large scale prints that are going to be
Yay,
coming out
I'm
pretty
excited for that.
soon. I'm actually going to be hanging come September in New Orleans Square.
Yay!
I'll be hanging here
At the Artist
upstairs.
Guild, right?
Second floor, yep.
Nice.
Yep, so that's exciting.
That's
That is
cool.
hella exciting.
Yes, we start regular gallery hours September 1st. Grand opening is September 14th.
Right, that's fucking good news.
That is amazing.
That's so
And
cool.
it's going to be my images from the Mother Road collection, so it will be my Route
Beautiful.
66 stuff.
Those pictures are so pretty.
Thank you.
Anyway,
They're great.
It's
Yeah.
like 9-10 years. It's kind of, it all coincides with my physical healing
journey.
Route 66 was really the project that I really concentrated on during all that. So it'll be nice to pull it out.
Neat.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it and watch.
It's gonna be so much fun. And then we've got September 26th. Is it? We have. I'm doing workshop with Santa portraits. It's a small 20-minute sessions. Good time to bring in the kids, get Christmas cards done. I'm also going to have a regular backdrop set up for people who want more traditional photos.
Cool.
So you don't feel like you're stuck to Santa. If you just need headshots, grab a couple friends, split the fee for the time, and both of you get your headshots. Three of you get your headshots.
Yeah,
that's easy peasy.
Yeah.
Right through.
That'll be good for the homeschool parents and kids because
Yeah.
they don't have like school photo picture day.
Yeah, and we can run them through just really, 20-minute sessions is what I'm booking people at. But like I said, if it's not a complex photo, we can pop 3-4 people through for singles,
Nice.
Cool.
So yeah, just get a hold of me, talk to me, and we'll set something up, get it figured
How do people
out.
get a hold of you?
Best way is my email, shannonbeelman@gmail.com. Or my Facebook, Shannon Beelman Photography on Facebook.
And what's your Insta?
My Instagram is SCB Creations.
Nice.
SCB
Creations.
And Shannon Beelman, Beelman.
A.N.
Yay, well, thank you so much for coming here and doing this.
Thank you for
You have such a
having me.
fantastic story. It was
Thank
fun
you.
to listen to. Well, I can't say fun, but it was good.
No, Shannon, you're
dynamite.
Yeah, especially with that awesome dynamite hair. But I can tell you that just since that first day you and Willow showed up with the booth and your anxiety, I saw it, felt it, and just watching you grow,
Watching you Lotus.
leave and then come back even more wise and grown. And now you're going upstairs into your own space. I mean, and you're creating things in here. It's just, your lotus is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm just so happy and proud of you, and I love you, and I honor you, and thank you for supporting us so much. You guys wait till you guys see what she's got coming out. Oh boy, you might be included in it. She's got something big. We're working on a calendar. We're working on some
yearbook thing,
and you might be in it, and
Lots
it's
of fun.
gonna be a really cool project. And her pictures are awesome, dynamite, as Nathan says.
And thank you two, for being here and having this space and having a catalyst for people like me to be able to break out. And I mean, the poems I'm sharing up in here, that's some deep garbage that I walked through. And to have a catalyst, a place to be able to grow and to do the stuff that I've done since February, March.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you're fast. You're just doing it. Like, okay, this is how it's done, kids. Watch this. Watch this grandma go.
Yeah, so
Yes.
you guys, I love you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys for being here. I mean, yeah, I would have found my way and I would have done it, but what a blessing to have you guys and all the people around here to...
All these people are amazing, right?
Help and just be there. It's that rally of the community. It really has been the rally of the community.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it beautiful? It's the best.
The guys,
and you're part of it.
It's so awesome. It's such a neat place.
Your
to
family.
be.
You got this big family here. Yeah, it's so great.
It's groovy.
Yeah, it is groovy. I love that. I love it.
Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, it's just been a great show. Tune in. Listen to our old episodes too, guys, because it's all good stuff.
There's some good ones.
Yeah, there's some good ones. And there's even some music on there that Nathan created back in the day, and he's going to get back to work and start creating some more.
I've almost finished already. I've been working on it for a while.
Because it's in demand. People are saying, where's Nate's music? We want his music. We want his music.
I've never heard that. But
well,
awesome.
You're not around much here. You're jobbing and stuff. Also, I want to give a shout out real quick, because I can't believe we're almost going on our 2-year anniversary, and it's just like it's been hitting me slowly lately, because I'm like, got to start planning for that yoga meditation festival here at Happy Earth Market that we're going to be doing for our 2-year anniversary during the third Saturday Bazaar. But I want to give a shout out to everybody.
Especially the hemp founders.
Let me do the shout out, sir.
Sorry, gosh.
I'll start with you, Nathan. Real quick. Thank you for sticking it out. This has been 2 years crazy, 2 years coming through. It's been intense. Sadie, she's developed our incredible website. You guys check it out, happyearthmarket.com. Check it out, because, I mean, it's all up to date. Yeah. The events tab is up there. You can see what's going on in here. You can see pictures and connect. JR, the awesome DJ, who's been at every single open mic, and everybody swears he's the best DJ in town.
He's aight.
So good.
And he comes to every bazaar, and that's super amazing, and he's super dedicated. And Dennis, since he's come back from California, it's been really groovy having him here, working his butt off on Sundays, especially with Sadie. And Nick working in the background for Sadie and for him, so that they can keep coming here and doing the things here, and developing this amazing space. Because you guys have really put in a lot of effort, and have been, don't get to say that out loud very much, and people on the podcast don't get to hear.
And Sam, the backbone.
Well, you guys, but I mean, it's all volunteerism, but it's not really, because we do, need to figure out how to make money. So August Bazaar, you guys.
But don't forget to pat yourself on the back. You
just did. Everybody heard it. I just patted myself. August Bazaar, though, you guys, for reals. It's third Saturday Bazaar. Come, please. Come to the bazaar. Make time to be here. It's going to be from 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock. No.
4 to 9?
Yes, 4 to 9.
You got it, 4 to 9.
4 to 9.
August 17th.
It's our fundraiser. There's going to be...
Help.
Yeah, there's going to be stuff for sale. If you guys come, you can buy tickets ahead of time for $15, right? $20, I don't know.
Yeah, $15 for wristband.
And scavenger hunt and vibes. It's a lot of fun. You guys come, because it's our fundraiser. We're going to try and get some capital in here, because we want to do more stuff, and we want to make this thing a little bit more grand and maybe have some cushion, because, we always need help.
Yeah, it'd be nice not living paycheck to paycheck or second to second here.
Within here, yeah, it would be good, guys. So come on. Come visit. I love you all for listening. Shannon, thank you so much, sister, for everything. Great. You're amazing. I can't wait to watch you keep going. Yay!
Love you guys.
Love you.